All right. Good morning. Happy Monday, January 11th. We have a nice good workout today. Brandon, recap. Last Friday, you guys had that homework assignment. Apologize, I couldn't video it. It's now recorded for a future day, so I will send that to you next Friday morning, the kids' morning. But it was similar to the workout that I had sent you with the plank slides and all that core stuff. Anyhow, so let's get to work today. Today's theme, we're going to have our lats, our traps, a little bit of chest, right? Triceps. We got our right leg, right oblique circuit, left leg, left oblique circuit. Just a nice, good, thorough workout. But we need to get warm and loose. Here we go. Hot Monday. 10, your favorite regular squats to start. Remember, I use this as a good gauge to how you feel. And it might feel repetitive, but can you exaggerate the motion? Are you feeling up for that motion today? Again, regular squats, feet shoulder width apart, 10 reps. Can you kind of set the tone for the day on motion? And it's a good starting point. Are your joints feeling loose? Are your muscles feeling ready to go? After your 10 regular squats, 10 wide squats. That is known as your flexibility squat, right? If you can maintain and or increase motion, your wide squat, more lengthening of those hip muscles and hamstrings and your glutes. 10 wide squats. You've been hearing it the last month or two. Exaggerate the motion when you do these things. 10 on your narrow squats. Good morning, Tom. Teams hates at least me this morning. 10 narrow squats. Your feet are narrower than your regular squats. Your feet are inside, good morning, Brian, the width of your hips. And that is known as your mobility squat. Knees, ankles, hips, spine. Technically, all of those things are going to move a lot more. A little more joint mobility on a narrow squat. 10 total reps, right? We've done these things before. 10 total alternating, balancing, lengthening, stiff-legged deadlifts. Remember, they are not called straight-legged deadlifts. Your knee is ever so slightly bent as you lengthen a contracted hamstring and glutes. And I'll even say good lower back. And the more weight you're able to hold, right, the more load you're able to add, time, more weight, right? That muscle is contracted and you're lengthening a contracted muscle on a stationary or stiff-legged deadlift. And then you'll do your 10 alternating stationary reverse lunges. Technically, you'll use those same muscles, hamstrings, glutes, but now you get a little bit of quads, just a little bit, right? On the stationary reverse lunge. Exaggerate that motion. The front leg, the non-moving leg, is the loaded leg, and that leg is pulling you back up. And then you're going to go right into those stationary forward lunges, and that's the opposite rhythm. Step, load, and push yourself back on a stationary forward lunge. Breathe and focus. You get a lot more quads on a stationary forward lunge. And we've done our squats, right? Dynamic motion, multi-joint, multi-muscle activation, right? Your regular, wide, narrow, moving those body parts, right? You got these 3 alternating legs. I can't say just lunges because of the stiff-leggeds, right? Joint mobility. Now we're actually going to get into those mobility exercises. Standing scissors. You're going to dynamically lengthen those muscles that you lunge with, that you squat with, and that you sit on. Hamstrings, glutes. I know you don't sit on your lower back, but you got some dynamic lengthening of that. You're going to jump right into take a big deep breath. Standing runners is your mobility exercise. Hips, knees, ankles, spine, rotation on your 10 standing runners. Right, we've done these things before. 10 Jack LaLanne's. Get big. Get up. Remember, you have to get up so you can consistently go back down. The width of your feet determines how high or how low your hamstrings get stretched on your dynamic stretching exercise, which is different from dynamic lengthening. You're going to be on the ground for our ab core scissors, runners, swimmers, and then it's time to work out. We need to get moving. 10 legs straight, arms straight, torque, leverage on your scissors, your ab scissors, and you're going to breathe and focus on your 10 ab scissors. Then you're going to do your 10 ab runners and breathe and focus on those 10 ab runners. Remember, the scissors is torque, leverage, length. Again, you're getting abs, core, mobility, spine and hip. Your runners getting a little more mobility, your rotation, activation, smooth and simple. And then you'll be on your swimmers. Remember, I'm trying to be a little bit ahead of you because I need to talk about that circuit soon. Your swimmers can either be on your hands and knees, mobility, balance, or on your stomach, still mobility, maybe more contraction because you are supported on your 10 swimmers. And that's a warm-up that you guys have done differently so many times. You have the 4 different parts of 30 total movements, so it's only 120 movements. I'm not too worried about your day. Circuit 1 and Circuit 3 are going to be upper body focused circuits. Cool. Circuit 2 and 4 are going to be single side. You have a right leg, right oblique circuit. You have a left leg, left oblique circuit. We have a little bit of abs in there, right? We have plenty of things to do. On this circuit, round 1 is going to be our lat pullovers. Round 2 will be our trap rows. So I'm going to mix up how you use your back muscles. And then we're going to go through just a simple chest, whether you can lay on the ground, ball, or bench. If you have the tools, then I want you to get the heaviest chest situation possible. Okay? If you have the tools. When you're ready, you're going to do 30 lat pullovers, so you need to lay on something on your lat pullovers. Clearly, if you're at the gym, you have lat pull down options, right? And then you're going to do your chest. I'll talk about that more in a second. I don't mind a little bit of pace between your pull to your push, but then you definitely want to rest before you do your next pull. Here we go. Lay on something, 30 lat pullovers. You're going to reach, breathe, and you're going to pull that thing over your body. And that thing can be anything, right? Medicine ball, plate, dumbbells, kettlebells, anything with some physical load if you can. Laying on the ground, ball, bench. If you're laying on a bench or ball, you might get more motion. You might be able to go a little bit lower, right? But if you have that tool, that ability to go lower, be mindful that you got to keep those shoulders back and down. If those shoulders come up and out, that's when bad things can happen, right? So shoulders back and down, we've talked about it before. Whatever you're laying on, you're lengthening your lats on your 30 lat pullovers. The second you get done with your 30 lat pullovers, I'm going to label it as push-ups for those that don't have the load, because push-ups would be harder than a light dumbbell chest press. But if you have the load ability, then I want a nice heavy set, and I'm going to give you a rep range of 10 to 12. So push-ups, either 10, 11, or 12, or a nice heavy chest press. 10 to 12 is your rep range on your chest. And you're going to breathe, and you're going to focus, and you're going to push. And remember, I want to be a little bit ahead of you to give you that little pace. After your 30 lat pullovers, you've got 10 to 12 chest. And I am looking for load, and that could come from physical weight, and it could come from time under tension. I want heavy. Round 1, 30 lat pullovers. and then you have your 10 to 12 chest. I don't want you to rest after the pull, but I do want you to rest for a second after the push. Okay? Round 1, 30 lat pullovers, 10 to 12 chest. Round 2, again, slow down after the push. Round 2, you've got your 25 trap rows. We've done these things before. We're going to alternate the pulls. So round 2 is 25, get low, stay low, row. You've got bars, you got kettlebells, you got dumbbells, right? We've done the tool thing since last March. You've got TRX rows, different body position. You've got machine or cable rows, different tools. 25 rows. And then again, I don't want you to rest after the pull, so you immediately do your 10 to 12 chest. I want you to rest after the push. Again, trap rows. Hips, 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 right? Get low, core, 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 breathe, breathe, breathe. And then you focus as you pull. When your hands come from above, it's a lat pull down or a lat pull over. When your hands come from in front of you, it's a trap row. And it depends on the tool, cable, machine, TRX, dumbbell, kettlebell, barbell. And then you're immediately going to do the 10 to 12 push. The second you get done with that pull, I want you to do your push. Now, I didn't say do the push fast. I just don't want you to rest after the pull. If you have load, physical weight, make sure you are careful getting on and off the tool, right? Don't grab your stuff quickly. And of course, if you don't have the physical tool of load, right, you can do the same thing with time. Just slow that movement down a tiny bit. And again, notice how I'm slowing down. When you get done with your push, rest your hands, refocus. Round 3 is 20 lat pullovers. So that's going to be less than your 30. 20 lat pullovers. And then you're going to immediately do that push again. Breathe. Focus. Work on your lat pullover. And I know it sounds weird, you're holding something above you, right? You don't want to drop that thing, but I want you to work on relaxing your grip. You can still hold the tool, but work on relaxing your grip. If your arms get tight, then your shoulder joint gets tight, and then you don't get your lats. So my challenge to you is release that grip a little bit, lengthen your lats a bit, and then of course, use your lats. Round 3, 20 on your lat, pull over, and you're going to immediately do that 10 to 12 chest. And again, I'm going to label it as push-ups, knowing, I'll say chest, right? But push-ups, you have more physical load potential. You've got ground push-ups, right? I'll say ground, both your hands and your feet are on the ground. If you need to increase the motion more, you've got incline push-ups. That would be considered an easier position. I didn't say easier exercise. And then you have decline push-ups. That is a harder position. And if you want the analogy, a decline push-up is like doing an incline bench press. It's a weaker position. An incline push-up is like doing a decline bench press, an easier position. So round 3 was 20 on your lats, 10 to 12 chest. Remember, we don't rest after the pull, we rest after the push. Round 4, 15 on our trap rows. And you notice I didn't bring my dumbbells down. I was talking to somebody, right? So trap rows, I do want physical weight. But notice how slow I am. My load potential is high when I slow it down. And if you haven't done a trap row with just your hands, don't do it now. But try it. 2.5, 3 second reps. My traps are still working. I just don't have a bunch of physical weight on them. Round 4, 15 trap rows. And then you're on your 10 to 12 push. immediately. That's where that smidge of pace comes from. And I call these proximity workouts. If you're at the gym, I'm going to put something heavy right next to you, next to the lat pull down machine. And we have 2 of those. So whatever lat machine you're on, boom, you jump right onto your push. And I have a bench press behind it. I got a chest press on each side of it. I got dumbbells. Right, you guys have done this before. Round 4, 15 on your trap rows, 10 to 12 chest pushing. Notice I slow that down mentally, physically, emotionally. Round 5, 10 lat pullovers. You knew that was coming. Remember, this is less reps than your 30 and less reps than your 20, and this rhythm will happen later on as well. Breathe, focus. 10 lat pullovers. It's either longer, slower, heavier, lower, right? There's so many things you can do on a lat pullover. Lay on a ball, lay on a bench, lay on the ground, slow it down. There's so many things you can do on your lat pullover. 10 lat pullovers, and then immediately do your chest. And I hope by this round, right, maybe the last round, that you started feeling that burn pretty good, right? That pace after the pull, you should start feeling that push, right? The chest should start feeling right now, right? Now, resting yourself before you do the pulling, that helps us maintain load, and that's either physical weight or time. All right, you got the one more round. We have 2 upper body circuits. This is the end of upper body circuit 1. You've got your 5 trap rows. And then, if you want to watch everybody else do the 6th extra credit push, you can do the 6th extra credit push or not. It's just a last set if you want it. And then maximizes load. If I had control of that weight, you probably wouldn't need the 6th set. But we're here, right? It's Monday morning. 1 more pushing chest exercise. Shoulder blades, push. Shoulder blades, push. Shoulder blades, push. Breathe and focus. 10 to 12 chest. And if you slowed it down, you loaded it up, you probably are feeling it right now on the 6th and final round. And I know we do the 30 down by 5 quite a bit, but when you do the 2 movement exercises, you get some lats, you get some traps, you got some mental diversity versus just changing reps. Alrighty. Here, and notice I'm kind of talking fast, I talk slow. This next thing, I want you to go at your pace. Again, that doesn't mean fast. Right leg 25. You can do any right leg exercise. That would include right leg only calves. If you want to do right leg only calves, slow it down. You've got right leg, or stationary forward lunges, stationary reverse lunges. Your right leg is not moving. Right leg stiff-legged deadlifts, right leg step-ups. Any right leg exercise for 25. Ooh, play with the weight. Right oblique 25. Okay, 4 rounds. What? Okay, so it's 100 total right leg and 100 total right obliques. I want you to go at your own pace. I'm going to go at mine, so you can stay with me, that'd be great. But it's also dependent on what you do. If you are going to do, and go ahead and get started, if you are going to do calves, stand on the edge of something and make it heavy and slow it down. It's the shortest motion. You got right leg stationary forward lunges. Right leg is moving and pushing you back. You've got right leg stationary reverse lunges. Right leg is not moving, and your right leg is pulling you up. You've got right leg stiff-legged deadlifts. That would be the slowest, longest exercise. So if person A was doing stiff-legged and person B was doing calves, they would clearly have 2 different durations of circuits. You've got right leg step-ups. your right leg is on the box or bench or something sturdy. Notice I didn't say chair. It better be one sturdy, non-sliding chair, right? It needs to be sturdy. I want it to be very trustworthy. Right leg, anything for 25. I wouldn't mind it being kind of heavy, but we actually can use the word fitness in this circuit if you want to use the word fitness. We have a little bit of pace. Pace can be high. We have a little bit of tempo. Tempo can be a little higher. 2.5 second reps. You add non-resting, you add play with the weight, and you've got 25 right leg, 25 right oblique, times 4. That is 4 sets each. When you get to your obliques, remember you can do any oblique. Right side up on your double lateral leg lifts. Your legs are moving because of your right obliques. You've got right side down hip dips. Your body is moving because of your right obliques. You've got lay on your back, knees to your left for your right side crunch. Great mobility, flexibility exercise. If you save that one for set 2, 3, or 4, you'll really feel it because of the load's already been done, and now you add a good mobility, flexibility, activation. And then of course you have your left hand standing on your loaded oblique. And just so you start seeing it, maybe hearing it, if you have a band on something that's sturdy, you could do rotations. You would pull the band from your left to your right, and that's a right side oblique. We have cable rotations here. We also have the TRX systems and all the stuff with the bungees, and there's bands that can be loaded more. But it takes something sturdy, so you got a little creativity and a little space. 4 rounds. Don't wait for me. Go at your pace. Round 1, 25 right leg, 25 right oblique. Round 2, 25 right leg and 25 right oblique. 4 right side rounds. Stationary forward lunge. You would step, load, and push yourself back. Stationary reverse lunge. I would love the knee drive. If you do a stationary reverse lunge, that'll keep your right glute active. You also have a balancing component, and you have a left anterior hip strength and motion component. So there's lots of really good things on a stationary reverse lunge with a knee drive. Stiff leggings again are great. Just know it's the longest lengthening exercise, so it'll be the slowest exercise, and you're adding balance to it. As you can see, load, right, time and or physical weight. Step ups, remember you need the tool for step ups. You've got lateral lunges, right? Step, load, push yourself back. If you have space, you have walking forward lunges and walking reverse lunges. At the gym, you have a right leg press. Again, you have those calves. You stand on something and or make it heavy. So any right leg exercise, which really means any exercise that we do on our alternating reps. Right leg, 25. Right oblique, 25. You've got 4 rounds. Don't wait for me. I'm going to assume, which isn't the best word, I'm going to assume everybody's somewhere in round 2, hopefully almost done with round 2, but somewhere in round 2. And again, just so you see it and hear it, you're all very, very attuned to this stuff. Right leg pushing exercises would be asterisk step-ups. That depends on the height and the load. Lower, heavier quads. Higher, always hamstrings, pushing, pulling. You got stationary forward lunge. That'd be a pushing exercise. A little more quads. You still get everything else. You've got your lateral lunge. Again, you're pushing. your outer hamstrings, your outer glutes, your outer quads. You've got your walking reverse lunge. Your left leg would go behind you and your right leg would push you back. Those are your pushing, a little more quad exercises. Pulling, you've got your stationary reverse lunge. Your right leg did not move. It pulls you up. Walking forward lunge, right? Your right leg steps, load, and it pulls you up and forward. You've got your stiff-legged deadlifts, the longest lengthening exercise. Calves, again, we're going to ask those. We're going to probably say pushing, right? Especially if you don't have a lot of motion, right? Standing on something, making it heavier. It's always going to be a pushing exercise, but if you can slow it down, load it up with time or tension. Right leg 25. I'm going to hope everybody's round 3 somewhere. You've got right oblique 25. You've got right side down hip dips. Your right side is down. You're pushing yourself up. Right side up double lateral leg lifts. You've got right side crunches. Your knees are to your left. And you got your standing obliques. Weight is in your left hand. And again, I talked about those rotational obliques. You need a band, cable, something sturdy, and you're pulling from your left to your right on a rotational oblique. 3 rounds are there somewhere. We've got 1 more round to go, yielding your 100 right leg, your 100 left leg. So don't stop. Don't wait for me. Adjust your physical weight if you need to. I don't mind a moderate high tempo, which is actually the movement, right? I really want high pace, which is lack of rest. And then to make it a fitness circuit, you do all that stuff and you adjust your physical weight so you hit your reps. Again, great time if you want to beat up those calves. Single leg calves would be a great time. If you want to work on that balance, stiff-legged deadlifts. Lateral motion, you have the lateral lunge. Round 4, 25 right leg, 25 right obliques for the 4th last time. Breathe, focus, work. Time under tension is just as important as physical load. Again, if you held a weight in your left hand, you guys are so used to that oblique. Side crunches is great mobility, flexibility of your hips, your spine, the muscles around them. It's a good activation, right? It's a good one to save for later on. Get them all loaded, get them all tired, and then do that exercise. You're going to feel them. I'm going to start talking about the next circuit. It doesn't mean you should be there. However, 100 right leg has been done, 100 left leg right obliques have been done. You've done your lats, your traps. Clearly, there's other ways we could have done them. And you did your chest pushing. This circuit, your triceps are going to replace the traps. Now, overhead triceps and then dips or kickbacks. I'll talk about that more. That'll be the replacement. You don't rest when you get done with your push this time. And your biceps will be your pull, and that'll be your 10 to 12 like you did on your chest earlier. And then, of course, you take a little bit of a break. So 30 overhead triceps is how we're going to start the circuit, and that'll flip-flop between dips and kickbacks as well. The second you get done with your 30 overhead triceps, you're going to do your first set of your biceps, and your biceps are 10 to 12, and that'll be any bicep. Bar, dumbbells, kettlebells, plates. 30. When you do overhead triceps, it's kind of like your lat pullovers. However, you're going to sit tall or stand tall, and your triceps will always turn on when you bend and straighten them. Whereas your lat pullovers, you lay on something, and although you're pulling weight above your head, you don't bend and straighten your elbows. So when you are doing lat pullovers, the one thing I look at is your elbows bending and straightening. 30 overhead triceps, sitting tall or standing tall, and the weight is above your head. You've done them many times. And again, it's a muddied exercise between that and a lat pullover. A lot of people will lay on the bench and they'll either do skull crushers or they'll do overheads, and the next thing you know, they're doing a tricep when they're trying to do a lat, or vice versa. 30. The second you get done, you're going to do 10 to 12 biceps. Remember, notice how I've just been using a medicine ball. I did mean to bring down my dumbbells, but I didn't. 10 to 12 biceps. You can hold anything. Dumbbells, you have a chance to change your hand position. Barbells, you can change a little bit between a regular bicep and a reverse grip bicep. Plates, kettlebells, medicine balls, you don't really have a chance to change your hand position. But the second you get done with your tricep, you immediately do your bicep, and then I want you to rest your hand. So don't rest after the push, but you rest after the pull this circuit. Round 1 was 30 triceps overhead, 10 to 12 biceps. Round 2 is 25 triceps, and you can do dips or kickbacks. Both of them, you shorten the muscle with the position, and then you shorten the muscle with the exercise. Whereas overhead triceps, you lengthen the muscle in your position, and then you shorten the muscle in your exercise, which is 90% of a gym equipment, right? Shortening a muscle is what happens to it almost every time. It takes your focus and change of intent. An eccentric exercise is all about lengthening a muscle, and it's slow and it's load if you're talking about an eccentric exercise. But each exercise has an eccentric phase, the elongation. Round 2, 25 triceps, dips or kickbacks, and then again you immediately do your 10 to 12 biceps. Immediately do your 10 to 12 biceps. So this circuit's going to be very armsy. The intent earlier was doing your lats, your traps, your chest. No rush. You're working it, you're breathing, you're squeezing. Round 2 is 25 dips or kickbacks, 10 to 12 biceps. Shake those hands off. Remember, I'm trying to yield upper body strength training. Round 3, when you are ready, 20 overhead triceps. That is a little bit less. And then again, you're going to do those biceps immediately. Now, part of this is position, right? The earlier laying on something, lats, roll over, or move body for your push-ups or bench press, you changed your body position so much. You had safety, right, of laying on something with heavy dumbbells or a barbell, laying on something, lat pullovers, right? You had safety concerns, where this is just hands and arms. 20 on your overhead triceps, and then immediately do those biceps, 10 to 12 biceps. Shoulders relaxed down, elbows relaxed in, bend and straighten your arms on your 10 to 12 biceps. Pace is all about rest, and I'm asking you to not rest after the push, but I do want you to rest a little bit after the pull so we can maintain our load of the exercise so your hands don't get destroyed. Round 3 was 20 overhead triceps and then those 10 to 12 biceps. Round 4 is your 15 dips or kickbacks. Remember, if you are not there, that is okay. Do not stop doing what you're doing to catch up. This is your workout, not mine. Round 4, 15 dips or kickbacks. And then again, immediately, you're going to do your 10 to 12 biceps. My only request, as those reps change, and if you can't change the physical weight, then I want you to change the time. You slow it down a tiny bit. Time under tension. Don't rest after your push. Round 4, 15 dips or kickbacks. 10 to 12 biceps. Shake it off. Round 5, when you get there, 10 overhead triceps. You'll have your 10 to 12 biceps. We'll have that one more round like we did earlier. And then we're gonna have the left leg, left oblique, like we did our right leg, left oblique. Breathe and focus. 10 overhead triceps, 10 biceps. Breathe and work. Breathe and work. Hands get a little tired holding weight so much. When your hands get tired, then you start gripping things. So then the wrist gets involved, the forearm muscles get involved, the elbow gets involved, right? Try to relax the grip. Shake those hands off. Round 5 was 10 overhead triceps, 10 on the biceps, 10 to 12. Last round is your 5 dips or kickbacks. Slow it down, push it up. Either way on your 5 dips or kickbacks, right? Slow it down, push it up or back, and then 10 to 12 biceps. One more time. Good, tall posture. Remember, this is meant to be an armsy circuit. Now, I do want to talk about the next circuit, right? It should sound dang familiar. Try to repeat what you did earlier in some ways, right? If you did change your legs and obliques, try to follow suit. When you're ready, you've got your 4 rounds of your left leg 25 and your left oblique 25. That is 200 reps. And when I let you have a little tempo, when I want the pace, let's just say it's 400 seconds give or take, right? 60 seconds per minute. Uh-oh, sunshine. 3, 5. You're looking at about 7-ish minute circuit give or take, right? And that'll put you at the end of your workout. Today, I didn't want to give you that exertion, right? We've done so much last week. You did 300, 200, you did 700 exertions last week. But I did start using that word cardio. If you ever want to just time yourself on the exertions, that way you can shut your brain off, cool. If you have the cardio tools, right? If I've said, running up and down your stairs, what a great cardio tool. You might wake up your family at this time. Anyhow, today, up body focus strength, which we had last Monday. These legs, you can make them as intense as you want with your load. You can make them as simple as you want with your time and your focus. Again, obliques, right? We're going to beat up the obliques a little bit. Alrighty, we're at the last circuit. 25 left leg. Stationary forward lunges. Stationary lateral lunges. Step-ups. Walking forward lunges, right? You can do walking reverse lunges. Stationary reverse lunges, your left leg does not move on the stationary reverse lunge. And if you do it, that knee drive is really, really good for you. I see it all the time. You're like, oh, I don't wanna. It keeps your glute activated. You've got a balance component, which I don't ask very much of. And with that knee drive, you got your anterior hip activating components. There's so many good things. When we do the alternating leg version, I don't ask you to do the knee drive because it really messes up your rhythm. But when you do the single leg stuff, I would love it. Step ups again, they're asterisk. Load, heavy, more quads. Higher always feels harder in hamstrings. Make sure it's a firm tool. Stiff-legged deadlifts, right? That's gonna be your longest lengthening component, right? It also has the balancing component. Really, really good for you, but also a common exercise. Your calves, please try to find something to stand on. It's okay if you don't. Then if you can or cannot, load up, right? Hold something heavy. And then worst case scenario, slow it down because it's the shortest motion of all of these left legs. You've got the lateral lunge. What a great lateral exercise. We don't do it a ton, but it's always kind of been that option. Blah, 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 blah. Left leg 25 loaded. Left obliques 25. Remember, you can stand with a weight in your left hand. Very common one. If you do have that tool, right? The cable, the band, whatever it is, you're going to rotate from your left, from your right to your left because of your left. When you're at the gym, I do make sure you have the right sides and left sides and what way you face. Laying down, your left side down, hip dips. It's the only pushing oblique exercise. Your body is pushing up because of your left oblique, or your oblique is pushing your body up. You've got your left side up, double lateral leg lifts. You've got your knees to your right for your left side crunch, mobility, flexibility, activation. Focus on you. I'm going to say most people, they're either in round 2 or finishing round 2. Slow. Well, make sure the motion's big. How about that? I don't mind tempo. I want pace. Make sure you maintain motion no matter what you're doing. Adjust your load, adjust the weight to hit your reps. You've got 4 sets of 25 left leg, 4 sets of 25 left obliques. You can be done when this is done, but again, I will talk to you about your stretching and or cardio at the end if you want to sweat a little bit more. Today's pace was lower than last week by intention. Left leg 25. Stationary forward lunge is pushing. Lateral lunge is technically pushing, but you do yield other hamstrings. Low, heavy step-ups, pushing, quads, walking, reverse lunge. That right leg goes behind you and you push yourself back. And that's probably the ultimate rhythm I want to give you, is that when you push on your legs, you're stepping, loading, and pushing yourself back. Pulling exercises, stiff-legged deadlifts. Stationary reverse lunge, walking forward lunge, higher step-ups. And again, you can asterisk that lateral lunge and the step-ups, right? The hamstrings, you're going to pull yourself back up. And that's why the lateral lunge is a push, because you're pushing yourself back. However, you do get a fair amount of hamstrings. Your outer hamstring, your semitendinosus, turns on more. Your vastus lateralis, your outer quad, turns on more. Glute minimus and medius, your supporting lateral glute muscles, turn on more. You're working, you're breathing, you're almost done. Remember, today was meant to bring it down a touch as far as all that exertion you did last week. Last Monday was a 410 upper body reps with your balancing rows and your stability pushes and your combos. You had some legs, some abs, but a lot of exertion. Wednesday you have the quad focused legs, the hamstring glute focused legs. We had our abs, obliques, and exertion, right? A very well-rounded day, but no upper body. And Friday you had the homework of a lot of core. You had your little bit of legs, a little bit of abs, a little bit of exertion in there. Don't wait for me. I will start talking about your end here soon because you can be on time. You have the 4 sets of the 25 left leg, the 4 sets of 25 left obliques. Remember, if you're not there yet, awesome, cool, this is your workout. When you get done, your body actually would be a great efficiency point to go do 5 or 10 or 15 minutes of cardio. That's just a time thing. That's a time and tool thing. But if you're trying to burn those calories, burn that fat, work off our grief of losing in the playoffs round 1, which I actually did predict. I thought we'd lose 20-10, not 30-20. Anyhow, another thing. Anyhow, go be efficient. If you have time to stretch, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes of stretching, right now your body is ready. Lengthen those muscles, right? You've worked all those muscles, lengthen those muscles. Whatever you do after a workout, your body will absorb the most. Go burn some calories. You can go stretch and elongate your muscles. Hydration, this is a great time. Go front load your hydration. Go drink a whole bunch of water now so you don't have to worry about it later on. Your body will absorb that water. Nutrition, this is the best time to go eat that good food. And of course protein is great, but carbos is your fuel tank. So a nice balance of your protein, carbos, and fats. That way you have an amazing day today. But again, 20 to 30 minutes after workout, your body is just ready for whatever you want to do. So if you're all done, have a great day. I'll see you on Wednesday. If you are not done, you're either choosing to do some cardio, you're going to do some stretching, or you're going to show me the smoothie you're going to bring me later on. Happy Monday, everybody.